Go Wes! Go Wes!
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode here of the Gold Coast Titans Frontline Podcast. A little bit of a different episode this week, as you can see. Don't have the green screen behind me. We're not on a StreamYard. It's a little bit all over the shop, but that's because it's Origin Week. I'm actually not at home right now, and we still want to get our content for you guys. We still want to talk about the Gold Coast Titans, our mighty, beloved Gold Coast Titans, who are back from the bye this week. Obviously, we've had a nice little refresher coming off that win against the Broncos. Kick back, put our feet up, and then we go again this Saturday against the Rabbitohs at Cbus Super Stadium. But we'll talk all things about that. Obviously, if you guys are new here, firstly, Gold Coast Titans, men's and the women's. We talk all things feeder clubs, which is the Tweed Seagulls, who got a nice little win this week, and the Ipswich Jets. And we talk all things Gold Coast Titans from top to bottom, man. So this is the place to be if you love your rugby league content. And my name is obviously Blaze. I'm from BKRsport, and we're joined every single week by Dane from Clarkey's Rugby League column. Mate, I know Origin was last night for the people listening, but it's tonight for us. Are you ready to rock and roll for Origin?
G'day Blaze, g'day listeners, mate. Ready to rock and roll. Been keen all week, realistically, all day, just watching the clock at work, counting down those hours, and no doubt this podcast will get us a little bit closer to kickoff. And you know, there's not much things that compete with Origin and how important it is to us Queenslanders, but the mighty Titans are certainly
because we
right
get
up
it
there, guys.
We get it up here. We can't actually. We shouldn't really talk too much like this because we do have New South Wales listeners who do listen to this podcast. So sorry, not sorry. But we love you guys when it's Titans time, when it's Origin time, baby. We're fired up, baby. Oh boy, we are fired up.
We love it when you're in a blue shade, just a cyan blue shade with a bit of yellow and white as well, with some premiership muscle underneath, of course. Hey guys, just a quick housekeeping note. Connect with the Frontline on Facebook. Search Titans Frontline and join our Facebook group. And also follow us on Instagram. That's at Titans Frontline. If you're in those two locations, you'll always see our ticket giveaways, which we do for games. And you'll be able to come in and experience the thrill of sitting in the front line and get your hands on some tickets, hopefully. We'll move straight into our Titans news segment, man. We'll breeze through this podcast today, I think. And it is a very special round. Round 14 for our club is an initiative by Kieran Foran, who is an ambassador of the Top Blokes Foundation. The Titans will be supporting Top Blokes to showcase their programs, including Logan's legacy, with the aim to spark conversations around mental health and help everyone know that they matter. Top Blokes are an Australian charity committed to building a future where every young male, regardless of background, can stand tall with a strong voice, unwavering belief in himself, and a sense of belonging. Yeah. Really important stuff, mate. Proud of our club for this.
Yeah, look, it's a massive round for us and makes this game so much more important than just rugby league. You know, we love rugby league, we love the Titans, but at the end of the day, you know, there's more things in life that matter. And I'm very close with Kieran and his partner Karina, and you know, this is a really important round for us as a community to, you know, to talk about Logan's legacy, to really bring out mental health and men's mental health. And as you guys would have seen on my socials, I'm quite open in regards to mental health as well. And it's a really serious topic that does need to be spoken about. And unfortunately, you know, the situation surrounding Logan, you know, means that we do have to speak about it more. And we do have to really put it out there into the community and into our, you know, friendship circles and just ask your mate, like, if they're okay, you know, at the end of the day. It's just as simple as that. I know it may feel awkward, but I'm telling you, feeling awkward is a lot better than what the outcome could possibly be otherwise. So, yeah, it's going to be a massive round this weekend, man. I'm really looking forward to being able to represent Logan's legacy with the Gold Coast Titans, and really good stuff there by the Top Blokes Foundation and Fozza.
Absolutely, mate. Really proud of our club for getting around this. Rest in peace to Logan, and fingers crossed our Titans can go out there and get a big win for you, mate.
Just before we go as well, so the guys that are walking out with the ball this week, I think, are Joel Parkinson and Mick Fanning, who were two of Logan's, you know, I guess role models who we looked up to growing up and whatnot. He was a massive surfer. Oh man, he was a fit bloke, and you know, he just looked like such a lovely boy. And yeah, it's great to see that they're obviously bringing in two guys that he looked up to, and I know he'll be proud looking down upon it, and especially when we get the win from him as well. So much love. Obviously, a very difficult topic to talk about, but a much needed topic to talk about.
100%, man. And I think you go through Logan's Instagram and you see the happy shots, the cool guy, the surfer at the beach, always living his best life. And it just does go to show that mental health really can affect anyone. So if we can influence anything on this podcast and on behalf of the Frontline community, it is to check in with your mates and make sure that they're doing okay. Another bit of news we have for you guys. We have launched an initiative, or we haven't, the Titans membership department have, in round 15 we take on the Tigers at Leichhardt. Now, this package includes captain's run, tickets, merch, a post-game function where you get a drink on arrival, and more. So you can get tickets to the game, sit with the front line there at Leichhardt Oval next round. We're really excited to it. We're bringing it to you a week early to get everyone as hopefully involved that do live in Sydney that are Titans fans. Details of that are on the Titans website. The email, if you want more context, is membersinfo@titans.com.au, or you can call 07 5656 5656. Those are the ways to get a hold of those tickets, guys. Now, we do need to say neither of those are officially endorsed or sponsored by the club. We just really want to see a bunch of fans out there.
And you're coming to the Tigers, aren't you?
I'll be there, mate. I'll be there signing autographs, taking photos with babies. And no, I'm not joking. Mate, I'll be there. And I'm really excited for it because Leichhardt might not be around for too much longer. It sounds like the Tigers don't want to stick around there. So it could be one of our last opportunities to watch the Tigers.
Hey, listen, just quickly, we haven't lost a game there. We haven't lost a game for the Tigers in 5 years. We have not lost a game with the Tigers since 2019. So I'm telling you, it's a good one for everyone to get to if you're down there in Sydney.
Mate, very, very keen for that one. If you did miss it, guys, scroll back a little bit in the podcast. The information's all there for you. And hopefully we can see a few familiar and new faces at the game and at the function after the game. Alrighty, mate, time for the blast from the past. Give me a blast sound. Boom! Friday, 23rd of April, round 7 of the 2021 season. Over 17,000 are in attendance at Cbus. Now, unfortunately, we did lose this game to the Bunnies, but it's not the moment I want to bring up. I want to bring up David Fifita's hat trick in 32 minutes. He was unstoppable this game. It was the game where the Rabbitohs had the blue Air Force jersey on and we had the white camo jersey for an Anzac round special. Against the Bunnies that game, he had 3 tries, 106 metres, 3 line breaks, 11 tackle breaks from 13 runs, 30 tackles for 2 missed, 0 errors. That's a classic Dave performance, mate. That's what he is capable of, and that's why we love him, right?
That's why we love him, mate. He is a really dominant back rower, the best back rower in the game. Billy Slater just shouting that one out for you there. Yeah, look, I think that it goes back a while to when we last beat the Rabbitohs, but I can tell you right now that a guy like David Fifita can absolutely beat them this weekend, and especially with a performance like he did in that performance. And I do remember that game. It was actually I think there was something relatively controversial about it, but we still got beaten by a few tries in the end. But there was something controversial about it. But at the end of the day, we lost that one. But yeah, really good to shout out a big time play like Dave Fifita, and it just shows that when you've got him on the pitch, you're looking a lot better than with him off the pitch.
Yeah, man. For that game, it was one of the first Titans games in a while that I wasn't intently watching. Really, the only one in the last 5 or 6 years. I got invited to a boxing event here at Canberra, and I had really good seats, and I had it on the floor on someone's seat in front of me. And I remember watching Dave from dummy half or first hit up beat 7 Rabbitohs players and score. And it's the boxing fight, there was just basic jabs happening, and I'm in the crowd, and I'm sure everyone's like, what's this guy talking about? But I was actually watching Dave. Absolutely.
I ask myself that every single week.
Yeah, mate. Oh, man. It was, hopefully we get the same from Dave this week. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, no Titans trivia this week. It's a shortened episode of the pod because Origin is all the focus at the moment.
Actually, I'll give you a real quick question. When was the last time we beat the Rabbitohs? What year?
Just what year? That was going back to 2021. 2020?
No, 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
2016. So we're back in Ash Taylor, Conrad Hurrell, that kind of era.
Jared Hayne. Yeah.
Oh. That's a long time, man.
Yeah, bro. So that's the thing. I don't want to bring that up because obviously it's not one we want to talk about. But with that being said, break the Hoodoo Guru this weekend would be nice to see. They are the team. We'll get into it when we get into our preview. But with that being said, they are the team that we have the worst winning percentage against. That's over the teams like the Storm and all that type of stuff, right? So. I remember I did a Titans quiz once and I was surprised it was Rabbitohs, but I definitely understand it now. So, yeah, it's an unfortunate thing to bring up, but at the end of the day, it was a quick little quiz. Hope you guys hope you didn't get it at home. I hope you thought last year, but it was not last year. It was 2016.
I think that is we're a side where we're going to have those better records over lower ranked sides, of course, but we do get up for the big games. Whenever we versus the Storm or Panthers, even last year when we had Tommy Weaver filling in, we still did pretty good for 60 minutes of those games.
Yeah.
We always go to a new level against the higher ranked teams, and Bunnies have always kind of been not quite at the top. They've always been near the top. So we're not like motivated at our absolute best, but they're not low enough for us to just smoke them. So I reckon that's why.
Yeah, 26. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, probably. Oh, to be fair, 2020, 2021, 2022, they were really, really good. But outside of that, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, always kind of near the top, but not quite at the top. My second point to make was ask me that same question next week, mate, and I will give you an entirely different answer.
Love it. I love it.
All right, mate, we've got some Origin players on show. We're going to preview now. Moeaki Fotuaika, we can't preview that because this will be coming to you tomorrow after he's already played. Hopefully
yesterday, he ran for 390 metres yesterday with 4 tries and 74 tackle breaks. It was incredible. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I heard that there was actually an emergency in the stadium and he quickly ran up, put out a fire in Section 7 and then came back to make a huge tackle. And I also heard Val Holmes got injured, and he took over goal kicking responsibilities as well.
No, he did. That was right after he had to fight that shark. There was a shark that was trying to attack a little child, and there's no way he's going to allow that to happen. So he ran in and took the shark away, absolutely demolished it, came back, and ended up kicking the rest of the conversions. It was unbelievable stuff.
Mo, you are my hero. You know what? Edit in that Foo Fighters song. There goes my hero. Or don't, and just let the fans
I don't need to edit that in because you just did a brilliant job of it. An absolute brilliant job of singing that. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for that kind compliment, mate. Let's move into our women's Origin, though, because that will obviously be tonight with this podcast dropping on Thursday morning.
Yes.
Jamie Chapman, what are you expecting from El Chapo on the wing there for the Blues?
I love how you call her El Chapo, Mo. Jamie Chapo, she was absolutely unbelievable in Game 1. She was the game breaker. I think she was on the wing. She's normally centre for us. She's the best centre in the game, but obviously it's just one spot across. You could see that she just knows how to absolutely pick it apart. And obviously, we're both Queenslanders here, so we don't want to see her pick apart this Queensland team, which does have a lot of our girls in it as well. But actually, Chapo's our only girl in Blues, isn't it?
Yep.
Great. Yeah, wow. So, look, obviously great to see what she can do. We know what she can do. We've always been massive believers in Jamie Chapman. We've been saying for the last year now that she is the best centre in the game, and she absolutely is, and she proved it in Game 1. So, really looking forward to seeing what she can produce tonight, and it's going to be massive.
I told a Porky there, sorry, mate. Of course, Talia Filmayano off the interchange as well for the Blues. My bad there. We both forgot Talia, maybe because she was injured last year. She kind of slipped down mine. But it actually brings me to my next point because Talia is typically a 5'8" for us, right?
Yeah.
We've got Sienna Lafipo starting at lock for the Maroons. She is a halfback for us. And we've got Lauren Brown at centre for the Maroons. And she was our halfback as well at times last year. So there could be a lot of questions answered about our season after this game. Because at the moment, you probably couldn't say the Titans NRLW best 17 because we have so many versatile players, right? Like if Sienna goes out and kills it, she is definitely she's definitely in contention for halfback or the 14 role next year. So there's a lot to play out in this game, man. The other one I wanted to get your thoughts on is Ivania Polite. Now, she's been shifted from the centres to the wing, and I believe that will be actually on Chapo's side to try and shut her down. So what are you expecting from Polite tonight?
Yeah, first of all, I definitely agree with you in regards to the halves. Obviously, it's really upsetting that we do lose Shante Kiriratu for the season, but, we do have depth that definitely can provide in those halves department from, what the women that we are watching in this game. In regards to Ivania Polite, she's going to be unbelievable, man, because she does run the ball back so strong. She's obviously fullback for us in the Titans NRLW, and now she's going to the wing, which is obviously a very, very different position there. However, it is similar in aspects, like obviously, dropping down deep to grab the ball and then run it back hard. And she's a big body, man. And Chapo is a big body as well. So, that's going to be a great battle if that's the case, if they are on the same side of each other. But Polite is one of the best players across the competition as well, obviously coming across from an Aussie Sevens background, doing some great work with the club. And, she's going to be able to she's going to be a strong addition there at those outside backs.
What I'm really excited for was when I look at the grand final last year, what Lauren Brown did so well at halfback was turn Chapo on the inside and change that direction. And Chapo, being a powerful ball runner, was able to get over for a hattie. I think Lauren Brown at centre can really do the same for Polite. Like she will be playing one out, so it's not as easy as to manipulate the defense as it is at halfback. But I could see Lauren Brown and Polite really combining well for a few tries there for the Maroons. So excited for that, mate.
Yeah.
Alrighty, no 3-2-1s from last round, of course, and our Frontline's finest leaderboard.
I will quickly mention as well. Is that for people who don't know, this is a must-win here for Queensland because this is game 2. There is a 3-game series this year, so that it would be a must-win regardless because obviously Queensland lost the first game, but it's not down to points differential anymore. It is down to 3 games, so Queensland have to go bang bang now, baby. They have to go bang bang, and this one's in Newcastle. The last one was at Suncorp. This game will be at Newcastle tonight. So, I'll see you guys on the stream. It'll be a big one, but hopefully Queensland can get it up. If you're a Blues fan, you're looking at goods, though.
Yeah, no, and even if a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of women's game, you're missing out. That's your fault.
Yeah.
But I would recommend every Titans fan, 1, gets around our NRLW side because they are a genuine premiership contender, and 2, watches this game real closely because there is a fair bit to play out in terms of where players fit into our best 17 because we've got such a versatile roster. Alrighty, guys, no 3-2-1s from last round and no Frontline's finest leaderboard. That is now behind closed doors, and we've actually secured a medal. If you haven't seen in previous episodes, we've got a medal. We're going to give it to the player that wins. So we'll move to our affiliates recap. Tweed beat the Clydesdales 28-18 at Pigabeen, and the Jets go down to the Capras 24-14 in Rocky. That means the Seagulls move to 7th on the Queensland Cup ladder, and the Jets unfortunately remain in last. For the Seagulls, we had 1 NRL player, Isaac Fa'asuamaleaui. He started at lock, played 46 minutes. He had 102 metres from 9 hit-ups, 21 tackles for 1 missed. And in my opinion, it was his best game at Queensland Cup this year and something he can really begin to build off. We'll move to the Jets players in a second, but let's pause because you were actually at that game live supporting our Tweed Seagulls, mate. So how was the atmosphere at the ground and how did you see the game?
Yeah, no, it was great. I haven't been down to Pigabeen in quite a long time, actually, because obviously I'm either streaming or I'm at Titans games, home or away and whatnot. And no, it was really good to get down there. It was a cool day. There's definitely a lot of, niches and stuff around. But look, we got W. I tell you what, and everyone at the ground will say this as well, it was not as easy as maybe the score. Like, I know it's only 10 points there, but a lot of people can think, 28 points, slapped them. The Clydesdales actually gave us a good crack. It was 20-18 at one stage after Tweed led by 14-20-6 or something, and then the Clydesdales came rocketing back, and they actually put on a pretty good effort. And the reason why if you're on YouTube right now and you saw me do this is because the Clydesdales are actually last. They've had 2 extra buys than the Ipswich Jets, so the Jets currently are pretty much above the Clydesdales. But yeah, look, I was really impressed by how they were able to come back into that game. But Tweed, they just need to kind of get rid of those knock-ons, a little bit of those silly errors. I think they might have been a little bit underdone coming into this game, but yet they got the 2 points, they got the win, and like you said, they pushed them into the top 8, which is what you want to see. So yeah, would love to get down to Pigabeen again sometime soon. Great to see everyone down there, and that was a really, really strong effort to be able to get the 2 points despite facing adversity in that last 20 minutes.
Absolutely love that, mate. And don't forget to our listeners, this Tweed side will get stronger and stronger as we overcome this injury hurdle. We've got a lot of players on the sidelines at the moment, so a lot of players who would typically represent Tweed, such as maybe a Tommy Weaver or a Keanu Kinney or a Tony Francis.
Speaking of Tommy, Tommy was down there. Tommy Weaver was down there watching the boys, obviously not required to, but was definitely still just getting down there amongst the community and whatnot. Ran into Tommy, and he's not playing for the Titans this week, so I would assume, I actually don't know why he's not even on the extended list at all there, but look, he's not playing for the Titans this week, so we'll probably be seeing him back in Tweed colours very, very soon.
Awesome. I love that culture too when players turn up when they're not required. That's awesome. For the Jets game, guys, Kenny Mamalo had 11 runs for 107 metres. He made 4 tackle breaks and had 1 error. Ryan Foran, he had his first game back from, I believe it was an MCL injury in his knee. He did play the full 80. He had 4 runs for 26 metres, 2 tackle breaks, and he made 32 tackles for 2 missed. He did give away 1 penalty, but he had no errors. So nice to see Ryan get some game time again and get up to 32 tackles there. This round, the Seagulls are versing the Capras. So it's actually the second week in a row our Tweed Seagulls are looking for revenge on who just beat the Ipswich Jets. They got the revenge this week.
Listen here, buddy, you go and slap my little brother. Well, guess what?
Yep.
We're going to come slap you, son. That's what Tweed are doing.
Love it, mate. And Jets have the bye, so I get the 2 competition points there. Tell you what, we'll leave affiliates wrap in 1 second, but I want to ask you, we only usually talk about our Titans top 30 or development contracted players when it comes to the affiliate wrap. Who was someone that you watched live in that game for Tweed that's a Titans junior coming through that stood out to you or impressed you?
Well, I will also give a bit of a shout out here. I did run into Zane Harrison down there, who's not in the team, but he was down there. Gave him a nice little wave there. There was a really loud guy in front of us, so he couldn't really talk or anything. He was really strongly getting behind them. Look, I think that when you look at this game, who is actually connected with us, to be fair? Like, obviously, Isaac had probably one of his better games. Coming, and really trying to improve himself there. I thought Vakasakaheli, who's around the Titans team, he's not in the 30, but he's around. Vakasakaheli is a guy that definitely you could be looking out for in the future. Scored a try in this game as well, which was a really nice scoot, kind of from halfway, and then just found its way down to the left corner. And I will say, the left wing of the Clydesdales was absolutely peppered by... the right wing of the Clydesdales, left wing of the Tweed was absolutely peppered, man. Absolutely peppered. I think it was Braden McGrady who was on that left-hand side, and in the first half. And I feel like they got a little bit complacent, but overall, it was a really good try there from Vakasakaheli, and I'd say that he was the one who probably impressed me the most out of the guys there.
Perfect, man. And because we're past, I think it's round 11 of the NRL season, a note for our listeners... NRL clubs can now actually bring up their affiliated players without needing permission from the commission. So technically, everyone who does represent Tweed and Jets at the moment can be brought up to the NRL if we need. My final point on that, mate, a loud person in the crowd, and it wasn't you.
Wasn't me.
You didn't vlog this one either, so the whole world was...
I will say, I did actually vlog it, but
okay.
it was a bit kind of it was kind of weird. Like, I'm so used to like doing I'm on like a routine, and then to go to like the HostPlus Cup, I took a photo and I put up couple of clips and whatnot of the game, but it's a different experience, man. It's obviously a lot more wholesome kind of community experience. It was great to see you guys there. There was a lovely bunch of people who came up to me throughout the day and said, they're loving the podcast. Lovely lady up top. Shout out to you who did come up and say hello and whatnot. And we really appreciate all the support that you guys do show. And it's great to go down to our local feeder club and to get amongst it and have people like yourselves who come up and say hello and say how much you're enjoying the podcast. So massively appreciated there. But look, I'll definitely be down there next time, and I'll be a lot more aware of how to vlog it. But also, mad shout out to the PCYC and Tweed Heads, because really good blokes down there.
Awesome, man. And I will say, because I'm so passionate about the Titans, and I know you feel the exact same way, whilst we do create general content around the NRL for all teams, and we receive compliments and some criticism, but we do receive compliments from that. I love the page, or I love the YouTube channel. For people that come up and say we love the Titans podcast and we listen to it, that means more to me, because this is what I care about. This is what I love to do every week. I love to review how our reserve grade players are going. I love to talk about our team. I love to talk about all the news. So
it's our community. People are
enjoying it.
I know it's the community. Like at your Clarkey's Rugby League Con with your NRL community, and my BKRsport with my NRL community. But at the end of the day, like, the Titans are our community. So that's why it means. And it's like, this isn't like a disrespect to anybody else from the other factions that support us, and we appreciate you. But when it's coming from the people that you are trying to, represent on a positive level and push out our club and push out our community, it does mean obviously a significant amount more, because they are people that are around us. So mad love.
100%. I think another element to that is the fact we are kind of always considered perennial underdogs. Like, we've never really had a season where everyone's backing us to win, or everyone's backing us in the top 4 or the top 8. So we do have that community feel together. We appreciate it a lot more, I suppose, than like a Melbourne Storm fan would.
For sure.
It's something really special, man. Let's preview next round. Saturday, 3 p.m. We're at Cbus. You're at Cbus. We take on the Rabbitohs. How do you break this one down for us, mate?
Dear me, gee whiz, Rabbitohs fans, we are we're up for something. We are up for something. This is one that the Rabbitohs are obviously coming in last position right now, and we're coming in 14th. But we are both coming off some pretty big wins individually. The Rabbitohs obviously got back into the winner's circle by beating the Squeals a couple of weeks ago. However, in my personal opinion, Rabbitohs didn't look too great in that one, but still got the chockies, still got the 2 points. And it was against the Eels without no Mitchell Moses, no Gutho, and the likes. And then the Eels have gone on to beat the Sharkies with those guys. So it just showed the kind of drop-off in the team. But the Titans, obviously, we're coming off the back of that win against the Broncos at Suncorp with 10 of our players out, including Tony Francis, injured mid-game. And, that's a much stronger team away from home as well, that I believe really does give us an advantage here to show where we are at as a team, because we've come close against teams like the Storm. Manly been doing pretty well this year. Obviously, the Bronx beating them, whatnot. And the Cowboys getting a shock win over the Roosters the other week, so that shows that we beat them. And it's just such a really messed up season this year overall. But I favour us here, man. I really do like us. You know, we've got a couple of boys come back into the team. Keanu stays in that number 1 role, which is great to see. We've got Phil Sammy, the big Sammy, come back in. He's actually been pushed into the centres. You know, we've got Jojo Fafita. He's on the wing. Kieran Foran back in the team. We'll get into it in a second because I'll let you have a say first, but I know there's going to be someone from the reserves that comes into this team because we all know what Desi's like. And also, who's the other one that came back in for the team? It was off injury. We had Foz, we've got Phil, we've got Jojo, and JC and also Tanner Boyd are on the reserve list there, man. So, yeah, look, I think that I'm confident. I am confident, but have your say, and then I'll tell you what I was thinking.
Yeah, man, I probably should have read out the team list before. That's my bad. Sorry, guys. I do love our bench. I think Liu, Palacia, Clark, and Alec Mintke is a pretty strong bench. And I think it's a good mixture too. I think Keenan and Clark are 2 guys going to bring energy from the bench. And Liu and Alec are 2 guys that are going to bring consistency from the bench there. Cleese Haas at lock, of course. Bowie Firma back in the back row. I love that Josie's starting as well. Moeaki Fotuaika named to back up. Now, I think worst case, if Mo isn't fit to back up from Origin and needs a break, then you do start Keenan Palacia in that role, and you bring Isaac onto the bench or Joe Stimson. So we've got coverage there. Backline, I love it as well. Phil Sammy at centre, Jojo wing. I probably expect them to swap a little bit for the game, just because prior to his pec strain, Jojo was training at centre for us, and Phil has trained on the wing for us most of this year. So I think that makes sense. And super excited to see Keanu Kinney go around, mate, after his last game. That was insane.
Well, his last 3 games. His last 3 games, yeah. Keanu Kinney's been up for it.
But I thought the last game in particular was
for sure.
a level we haven't seen from Keanu yet. Like, that was world class. And we knew he was we knew he had that potential. We know his ceiling's there, but to actually see it was just something incredible. And what I loved about it was it didn't come easy. Like, it wasn't a performance where we go, wow, he's so good. He made 7 line breaks and tore him to shreds. It was literally all effort. Everything he did good came from his effort. And that's a really special trait for someone of his age. For my preview for this one, we actually did play the Bunnies in round 14 last year at Cbus. We did go into halftime with a 22-16 lead. Unfortunately, it was another one of those kind of Justin Holbrook type performances where we did blow the lead. And we lost that one 46-28. But my notes say the Rabbitohs are a very different side this year with only 2 wins to date. My heart tells me that, and my head tells me it, and I know that to be the truth. They are coming off a bye also, and their last win was against the Eels. Looking at what they concede so far this year, 34 points on average. And I think that's an area we can exploit through a little bit of patience. I do feel that this Rabbitohs side, although they're not going the best, does still have enough X factor to score points. Alex Johnston, Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker, Jack Whiten, Jai Arrow, Keon Kolomatangi, right? If we try to go tit for tat for them, we're at risk of losing this game. Ultimately, I still think we win, but we risk it being a game like Manly, where we fall just short because we weren't patient enough. Whereas if we show poise and a sense of patience in attack, where we're not trying to score every play, we're happy to tire them out defensively, we're happy to park them down their end of the field, I think that pressure will actually fold the Bunnies. Because they don't have a genuine 7 in this side. They've got 2 5'8" and 2 former fullbacks in Jack Whiten and Cody Walker, who aren't the sort of players that are going to play the 1%ers to get them back into the game. They're going to risk it. They're going to chance their arm. And I think that can lead to errors. They are averaging 12 errors per game. And if we can make them feel that pinch with our defense and force their hand in attack, I actually think that number will increase. I think they can make up to 15 or more. With Kieran Foran back in this side, my gut absolutely tells me we will be able to do that. We will be able to pressure them, make the right decisions, be patient in attack, and strike when necessary. So I'm extremely confident we get the job done here. I will tip us to win by at least 10 points. I love what I've seen from this team, and an important factor is the bye. Yes, the Bunnies are coming off the bye also, but we needed the bye, man. We needed to freshen up after a huge game. What's your key to victory, and what's your final tip for this one?
So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rogue chat here, and I'm going to kind of say to you that 10 points isn't unfortunately good enough. I'm going to make a big call here.
Wow.
I'm going to say 10 points. Well, I'm not saying that that's my tip, but I'm saying that that's probably not good enough right now. So the reason why, I'll explain what I'm saying. So right now, the Titans, I've got the HostPlus Cup ladder up. Right now, the Titans sit at 14th position on 10 points with minus 89, right? And that minus 89 is awful. It's not great. It's not the worst. We're actually we're exactly where we are, in fourth last for our points differential. Now, ignore Eels, Tigers, Rabbitohs and whatnot for the time being because their points differentials are worse. But if we want to consider ourselves a top 8 team this year, and it is, quite a far cry off right now, obviously, to be thinking about that. But if we are thinking about that, our next game is against the Rabbitohs, who are 17th. The game after that is against the Tigers, who are 16th. And the game after that is against the Warriors, who are 13th. And then we have a bye. We need to be winning games by a lot of points to put ourselves back into this little conundrum here for the top 8, because the Roosters are plus 133 right now. Manly Seagulls are 36. Who cares about them because they have the draw, so they're on a different system. The Raiders are minus 37, so we're kind of within their range, definitely. The Broncos are on 57. This is all teams on like 14, 16 points. And the Dolphins, who I think could drop off as well, are on plus 64 points. You go down to the Bulldogs, they're plus 77 points and in 9th right now. So they're not even in the 8, but they're on plus 77. That tells you everything you need to know. And Cowboys, plus 4. Dragons, minus 76. So they're a team that we don't have to worry about 4 against too much about. But the trend that I'm saying here is that we need to beat the Rabbitohs and the Tigers well, and I would honestly go as far as to say the Warriors well, and I mean well, 20 plus points, kind of 26 plus points, to be putting ourselves back into that top 8 battle. Now, if we want to fight for a 10th position, which I think is valiant for sure after the start of our season, where we struggled with Dragons, the Doggies, the Dolphins, and put ourselves in the back foot early, and now we've started to motor along. If we want to fight for 10th, then that's great. And then you just want to be winning games and just to kind of put ourselves into a good trajectory for next year. So it just comes down to, if people want to win and really put a marker on potential top 8 this year, then we have to win the Rabbitohs game by like 24, 26 plus points, and the Tigers game by the same margin, and then the Warriors game by probably between 14 to 24 points. That puts us back in good stead. But if you're on the other side where you just want to win games, just put ourselves in a good movement, just win them, then we can come 10th, 11th, 12th, and you can still be happy based off of the season so far. So what I will say here is that I think the boys know this, and I think they're confident. I think they are ready for this. I do think that the Rabbitohs are a team that we could absolutely slap down here. I think that, people look at the Rabbitohs and go from previous years where they made the grand final in 2021, made the finals in 2022, grand final in 2021 grand final, and then 2020, 2019 and whatnot, all made prelims and all that. I think they get caught up in the Wayne Bennett Rabbitohs and not this Rabbitohs that don't actually have a coach right now. Jason Demetriou got sacked a few weeks ago, and now they're trying to kind of recover what they're doing. So I feel like this is a gettable game, and I'm going to say by 20 plus points. I'm going to say by 20 plus points because we have to do that. I'm confident that we at least win, so that's my tip. But I'm going to say 20 plus points because that's what needs to be done to be putting back into the top 8 race.
Absolutely love that different perspective from you as well, because... So are you in the camp where you believe finals are still on the agenda for us this year, and that's why you're confident in making that prediction?
I think that it comes down to these next 3 games. So it's like, I think that there is a world where this team has been performing so well grindy, showing that we can get it done. It can be done. I'm not saying that I don't believe right this very second we're going to make the top 8. Right this very second, I don't believe it. But I do think that there is a world where if we win these games by big enough margins, we're on minus 89. So if you win you beat Rabbitohs 30, 20, and 20, that's 50, that's 70 points. Then we're back into minus 19, and it does give us a bit of a push at minus 19 or minus 9 or whatever it is. What matters is it gives us a bit of a push to actually get ourselves back into that range. So yeah, right this very second, I'll admit to you, I don't see us as a top 8 team, but I do think that we're putting ourselves in the right trajectory, and I think that the boys know this, and they're going to come out and they're going to whoop them.
Yeah, I'm not quite in that mindset yet, the same as you. I need to see how these next few games pan out, and that's why I went 10 plus in this one. But certainly, I do appreciate what you put out there, and I agree that this next 4 kind of game stretch is absolutely integral to becoming a team that's within range of the 8, or becoming a team that's just competing for wins for the year. Which
after the Warriors games, you said 4-game stretch. So we've got the 3 games on the bye, and then we play the Sharks at Coffs Harbour, and then the Eels at Cbus, which... look, if you want to put ourselves in the top 8 battle, we have to win at least 4 out of those 5. And if we can beat the Sharks, that's massive.
Yeah, that would be absolutely huge. And that could even be during like an Origin week where they could be without Nicho Hynes, which could help us there as well. But yeah, it sounds like we're both confident we'll get the job done against the Rabbitohs. That is our preview. We're actually not going to do a phone the frontline section this week, guys, just because it is a condensed episode. But the link to leave an audio message for us to react to live is in the description of this on podcasts and on YouTube. tap on the website, press record. You can go anonymously, put in your name, whatever you like. The options are yours, and we'll react to it next week on the podcast. All right, guys, now time to close our show. So thank you very much for myself for being here for our condensed preview of the Rabbitohs game and a condensed preview overall of the podcast, a little bit shorter than usual. We are looking forward to continuing to expand the podcast when the NRLW comes back for the Titans. We can't wait. We'll have a season preview and everything for that coming out as well. So once again, from myself, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week to recap a big win over the Bunnies and preview that Tigers game in Leichhardt. Over to you, Blaze, to say farewell.
Absolutely, yeah, we appreciate you guys. Obviously, yeah, like you said, it was a condensed episode because Origin and all that jazz. We also had to buy and whatnot. So, yeah, we just slapped it down. Hope you guys still enjoyed. We still want to bring out content for you. We are very consistent. So, regardless, you will get a podcast every single week, no matter what. But it's just that, yeah, it's been quite a bit of a rush this week with State of Origin happening in Queensland, New South Wales. We all know how it does get there, man. So, if you guys are on YouTube, obviously hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Obviously, follow us on Spotify and Apple and give us a nice little 5-star rating. And like I said, if you want to jump on, do the speak pipe, then we appreciate that for next week after we get a nice little victory against the Rabbitohs, and we can start thinking about the Tigers and start thinking about the Warriors and start really kind of push into this season because we have a winnable stretch right now. Up the Maroons tonight, the women's. Hopefully they won last night, Clarkey. Hopefully they did, otherwise I would have been roasted online. So would you probably. And we'll see you guys next week. See you at Cbus on Saturday at 3 p.m. Let's get it. Ring. Zing. Zing.